Hello, welcome to this Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on Scraplift Crafternoon. This is the very first one for the month of February, and I am super excited because it is another layout that I chose. And I did all the mixed media choosing for this layout. This layout was created by Debbie Tirani for Scrap the Boys design team. I'm going to post that for you up here in the corner. Look at that gorgeousness. Could be intimidating, but it's gorgeous. And I pulled all the things. So far I haven't pulled any of the layering pieces that she has behind her photo. What I did pull was my photo. I have 4 stencils. This one is, and this one have never been used. And then 2 Tim Holtz stencils. And then a bunch of stamps. Now, I think one set of these stamps is for Stamp It Like It's Hot, but it's on here, or in this stack, and so I just kind of pulled some various stamps, trying to make sure that you can still see everything. And I don't know that I'll break in to all of these. This is the one for Stamp It Like It's Hot. It may end up on this one. As well, because I like that set of stamps. But this is what I have, and I'm going to go ahead and start the mixed media process. I shall be right back. So the first thing that I am going to do is I'm going to use this Shimmer's blue spray to create some ink smooshing on the background. My blue is not as bright as the blue in the original layout. I really don't think I have one that bright, but I might. And but this one works for what I want it to do, and I love how it goes on here. And so I'm just kind of smushing it around and trying to get it in the places where most of that stamping is going to show up on my layout. Okay, I wanted to pop back in here because I went through my scraps first and pulled a denim piece of, it's not paper, but it was like one of those die cuts with a view stacks, but it was denim. And so I had a scrap of it in my scrap bed, a scrap of red. I have 2 punches, some wood veneer. This is a piece of Hip Kit Club pattern paper. It matches the green. These are the alphas that I have chosen. Guys, these are super old Heidi Swapp chipboard letters. They are so old that the adhesive on the back of them has hardened, and you have to glue them. Pulled out the labels that I wanted to use. Like I said, there's some chipboard elements here that I pulled as well. So I just wanted to check in real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with the matting of my photo, which I've already put on white cardstock. I'm going to mat it here. I'm kind of using the same color scheme that Debbie did. It's kind of intentional because my daughter's wearing blue. Her blue is a little bit brighter blue. I thought it might be more like Tim Holtz Prize Ribbon Distress ink, which I didn't have in a spray. I do have the ink pad, but you saw that I used a Shimmer's sheet or spray for my background. And so this is what I've got, and this still works fairly well. So I'll get to it, and I'll be back with some already stamped elements for this layout. So I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video in my intro that I will also be using this layout for the Get in Shape hop. The shape for February 4th is hearts, and instead of using the stars that Debbie used on her layout, I am using the wood veneer hearts as well as some punched hearts on mine. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding a little bit more color I have chosen Distress Oxide Faded Jeans and this stencil here to create some larger splatters. And I'm trying to put them in an area where the stamping won't fully cover it. So I'm not sure if the black on Debbie's background is all stamping or if it is also stenciling. I chose to pull out this stencil because it closely matches the stamping or stenciling, whichever hers is on her layout. I do not have a stamp that looks like this at all. So I thought this stencil was close enough, and I'm just kind of putting it all over the place on the background. Again, I'm trying to make sure that it's going to sit in a place where it will be seen. The other thing that I did a few seconds ago was I did put some pencil lines so that I knew where my photo was going to land so that I would not stamp outside of that or stamp inside of it and completely cover it up. So I really like this border stamp here by Delusions. It is a great set of circle stamps. It's not quite exactly like Debbie's, but I felt it was close enough that I could use it here. Now, this is a burlap tag stencil, and again, I'm trying to mimic some of whatever it is on hers is either stenciling or stamping. I'm not sure which, but I'm trying to mimic it as much as possible with the product that I actually have on hand. And I am using archival black ink, which you can see now here. So here is where I brought in some of the images that I have already stamped and colored. I colored both of those images with my watercolor paints and then fussy cut them out after they were dry. There is no magicness with that. Trust me, if you'd had seen it before I cut them out, you would see what a complete disaster it is. I do not do well with coloring images. That is not my best work. Anyway, I saw that she had some color on her little animal images that she had on her layout, and that is kind of what I was going for. I did not have the same stamps that she did. This phrase says something like sweet and sassy on it, and that is from Smart, Sweet, and Sassy. That is from the Close to My Heart set, and I'm just trying to stamp it in all of the places that Debbie did on her layout. My layout is more of a girl layout versus a boy layout. I mean, because hers was done for Scrap the Boys. And while I am a mom of 3 boys, I also have 2 girls, and I'm trying to scrapbook the photos that I have ready to be scrapbooked at this point instead of printing out a whole bunch of new things or digging in my older photos, because Lord only knows I have enough of those running around here. So I did put some fun foam on the back of my photo, and I just noticed that my camera was falling. I need to glue the pads back on my camera holder. They're slipping, and sometimes they completely slide off while I'm recording, so I need to get some glue on those, and soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that photo down, and then I'm gonna start laying out the images that I have already stamped and that are ready to go on the layout. I am gonna be putting fun foam on a couple of these images because I don't want them to be uneven on my background. So far, I'm happy with where everything is going. I am getting the fun foam on the part of the kitty. I will glue it down flat against the photo, and then I will add, or I added the fun foam on the edges so that it would be even with the photo. Next step is to go ahead and try to get these letters on here. They are a little bit larger than I realized, and I'm having to like kind of tuck them up underneath my photo, and it's fine because you can still read the title, which is going to be Baby Girl. And yes, she's not a baby, but she is my baby, as I continuously tell her she will always be my baby. Anyway, so I went ahead and laid those out so that I knew where they would land. I'm going to start tucking in some or the 2 labels. I actually considered using all 3, but I ended up only using the 2. Really love labels, and I just set the turquoise one aside. Now, I did not have black or dark parentheses, so I just used some from the same set of letters that you saw for the title. I also brought in some asterisks because they're the same color, and frankly, I just want them gone. I did use a different set of stamps than I showed you at the beginning for the circles. A lot of my circle stamps are from Print Shop stamp set, and I just kind of cut out, stamped and then cut out ones that I thought would work. They are not perfect. I am not a great stamp person, but I am very tickled that I am beginning to use up or use so many of the different stamps that I have collected over the years. The Speech Bubble and the 100% Legit stamped images are from the Close to My Heart, or one of the Close to My Heart stamp sets, and so I went ahead and I cut those out. I stamped and cut those out. I did have to use a Misty, and I had to stamp them, I think, 3 times to get the color saturation that I was looking for. I suspect had I used like Stays On or my VersaFine ink pad, that it would have been darker better, but I just used what I had pulled to stencil with, and it works, and I got it done. So I did use the 2 punches that I have there for the heart images, and I also have some of the wood veneer. And again, the hearts are for my Get in Shape layout. All right, things are all glued down. I did pull out some of my phrase sticker sheets. These I got on Amazon, and they were like in a huge pack of like 20 different colors. And so I pulled the black ones out. They're really thin, so they're hard to pull off the backing, and when I picked them up I accidentally grabbed 2. So I'm going to go ahead and choose some of my phrases, and I'm going to get those put on here. But I'm also going to do one last step, and I'm going to show you her layout again. I have a photograph of it. When I get a layout to Scraplift that is as involved as this one is, I like to have an actual photograph of it, and that way I can refer to it. And one of the things that I noticed that it looks like she did is that she traced around her elements with a black pen. Now, if this is a digital layout, she could have done that digitally. If it's a paper layout like mine and the rest of the ladies will be, of course you would do that with a pen. And I will do some of that here on camera for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. And then I'll finish it off camera. So I'll be right back. So I have this section on time lapse, and all I'm doing is just tracing around everything with this black pen. Now, one of the things that I did notice is that the nib on this pen got ruined really easily, and I had to switch out pens right there. Now I'm going to add my phrase stickers and call it done. All right, I got this layout completely finished. The last thing that I did was I added a few splatters, and they are currently wet on the layout, but this is Shimmers Colorings Mama Sings the Blues. That's the color I used for the splatters, as well as in the beginning of the video when I did the ink smooshing. It is the same color. So I want to thank you so much for coming to my channel today. This layout was super fun to create. Sometimes it is an awesome thing to create outside of your comfort zone. I would not say that I am uncomfortable creating with mixed media, but sometimes when you see such a gorgeous, stunning layout as this, it is a little uncomfortable to try to recreate it because you're afraid you're gonna not even live up to it. And Actually, I am very, very happy with my layout. I will tell you that baby girl here told me that this is my weird little hobby when I showed her what I was doing. So is that a compliment? I'm thinking not. Anyway, silly babies. Emily is actually not a baby. She's 19 years old now and has moved out on her own and is learning how to be an adult. But this photo was taken in 2016 and I really like this photo. It's one of my favorite photos of her for that year, and I love the big smile on her face, and I was very happy to do all of this fun mixed media with this layout. Make sure that you check that description box below so that you can see what the other ladies in my tribe have done with this layout. I am really curious to see how they managed to create with this layout. It is a very fun process, and make sure that you leave them some love when you are finished watching their videos. I want to thank you again for being here. I really appreciate those of you who like, comment, and or subscribe to my channel. That helps me grow this channel, and I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm still pretty far away, but I'm getting there, and I appreciate all of you who are helping me do that. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye.